a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it, but I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Before that, I would like to address everything that was said today. I wrote this myself, so I don't know if it's even good. I am not the best writer, as a lot of you know.
I'm scared.
I have a lot of, half my screen right now is red, because I can't write for shit. It's not through ChatGPT, shut up. So, this is April of 2021. We met online when we were playing AT&T Annihilator Cup. This is me and Emmy. I was introduced to her through it, and my chat started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends. So we met through the Annihilator Cup. A lot of you guys know this. I was playing with her. My chat liked her a lot. She was fun to hang out with, so we started hanging out. We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie, another cosplayer from another state, and I was dating Maya. Me and Maya broke up. I broke up with her because the relationship felt stagnant, and Maya's sanctuary started to take over a lot of her life, and we hardly had time to hang out with each other. Since Maya moved out, I knew I wanted a streamer to move into the house, preferably a girl to farm content with, but I didn't want it to happen so fast. I didn't know if I wanted to be Emmy, but she told me about a stalker that came to her house with a bat, and she didn't live at her house anymore. I told her to come move in with me in Austin because she had a stalker, and we want to make content, and the guy will probably be scared since there's a bunch of people around instead of her in her Kansas.
Does every girl streamer have a stalker? I think so. This is tragic.
From there, our relationship started growing very fast. Within just weeks of moving in, she would sit in my room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over.
Look at the comments in the Twitch chat.
Season 1. God. I loved it because she made me feel like it was, because it felt like my childhood and a place of calmness. She would fall asleep in my bed. With some nights, we would touch our backs or legs together. We knew we liked each other. We just knew it was a bad idea. Talks of her joining OTK happened fast as well, and I knew that if we were potentially going to date, we'd have to keep it a secret. Nobody was allowed to know. Streamers as well were already starting to resent me, saying that it was a shitty thing that I moved Emmy in so fast and replaced Maya so quickly. If people found out we were dating, I could be hated by my peers and lose what I created in OTK. I didn't know if we were going to date, and I knew if we were going to make it happen, it was going to be very stressful, but I had no idea what was going to come. It was the beginning of January of 2022. Emmy just had her huge party in an arcade celebrating her birthday on stream. Everyone from Austin was there, and as we were celebrating her joining OTK, there was a huge scare. Someone outside in the parking lot ran into my Audi R8 and drove off. And while we were outside thinking it was a schizo viewer, we were told that the person who just hit my car was now inside holding a gun. This scared us to no end. Me and Conrad's pants ran inside in fear to get everyone out and make sure everything is okay. My first concern was Emmy. I wanted her to be safe. The cops came, the drunk driver did have a gun, and was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison. Me and Emmy were terrified that night, and on the way home, I grabbed her hand, and she grabbed mine, and we knew we were trauma bonded, and we didn't want to.
Trauma bonded.
We would wake up together, stream together, and hang out with each other all night. She quickly became my best friend, and someone that I felt for the first time I was in love with. We hung out all day, every day. We were always so happy with each other, playing games until the night, loving every moment we were with each other. I remember one day I left my house. She called me just so we can be on the phone together, as we always did. And we were playing a song called Falling in Love with You with Elvis came on, and I felt that love. First time I felt love for a girl, and I thought I'd want it to never let
Rest in peace, Maya.
First year of our relationship, we almost had no fights. We started to date officially in January of 2022, and up until my cancellation, everything was perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened.
Really?
I'll throw you and show you an example, chat.
That's crazy. Few context details can change so much.
Yeah, we just lob it over.
Is this true though? Now it's just he said, she said.
That's it. And when she, that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she even said in her situation that she bruises easily. She brushed over that I threw water bottles with her on my or my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I did feel a lot of stress over the time of our relationship up until this point from her stalkers. From the ones that would show up at our old house and also stalkers that just had from her TikTok postings. We found after being with each other that her stalkers had a lot from would come to her a lot from her short form content. These people were schizophrenic and would think that she is talking to them. Whether it was songs she played, the way she looked at the screen, or just the titles of the videos, these people started to feel she was talking to them and come to our house to stalk her. These people thought in their heads they were dating her. They were out of their mind and dangerous. I told her, if we're gonna be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop posting as much and to not harm these people. She agreed and understood that it was a safety concern for not only me, but the house.
Oh my god. What a few context details change everything, man. Again, though, what is true? I didn't threaten her, I just extorted her. That's crazy. Emmy's a better tank. Oh, for the WoW stuff. This is a crazy comment, but I completely think this person is describing a certain archetype that really exists. So this one says, I know every kid like you, the insecure narcissist who tries so hard to maintain an image of being confident when you're actually scared. The kid with main character syndrome who measures his values based on what others think and needs to be included. You've done it your entire life. I know who you are. I'm sure it's hard on your fragile ego, the ego that you try so hard to present as being supremely confident, but it's never too late to change yourself and find a different path. I'm not gonna lie, I think there's a future where that could have been me. I think that's part of why making internet content used to be toxic for me. And I realized something was wrong, so. Man, but that's very interesting. Let's watch this finish.
Anyone that was in my house or anyone that was near us, she agreed that she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us and is something I'm not comfortable with as a guy. So she would tell me that if I had a problem to let her know. And at first it was minor things here and there, but over time it got harder and harder to deal with. There were more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I could get in a ton of trouble with OTK and cause a ton of problems. I told her if we were gonna be serious about this relationship, I need to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. And then there was more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I can get in a ton of trouble with OTK. And
because you're not allowed to
in my life. So I lied to all of my old friends, S-Fan included, who lived just next door to me, and everyone in OTK, and that was very hard for me to do. We had a doggy door between our rooms just so we can hide it from everyone else, including my roommates. We would lock the doors to avoid our roommates finding out. As time went on, they found out, but to most of our friends in the Austin circle, they never officially knew. That stress alone would drive anyone mad, but our love for each other was strong and we knew we can handle it. In September in 2022, a lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others trying to claim I covered up sexual assault. It was proven wrong.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Health. I felt like my brain cracked and I was never the same since. I was suicidal, depressed, and I didn't know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all my friends.
Okay, am I crazy? But this sounds a bit recited, you know? Can you tell? Am I crazy?
Emiru was one of the
maybe that's okay though.
She ditched sponsors to go with me to Japan. She went with me anywhere I needed because she wanted me to be happy. And she knew sometimes I freaked out. I lashed out, but she loved me and she knew I was in a terrible mental place. It got so bad, the stress and constant talking about the same things over and over and no sleep and depression, that most of my hair started to fall out and Emiru started to hurt herself while we were in Japan.
Oh no.
As this time happened,
why is the quality so bad?
I was a massive wreck.
There you go.
I couldn't think straight and being that Emiru hung out with me all day.
By the way, I don't want to assume it's recited. I'm sorry. That's not a fair assumption. It's not fair at all. We have to be fair. I want to give each one the benefit of their doubt. You just it might just be a he said she said kind of thing though.
She too started to become high strung. Ugh.
But at the same time, like I don't know, Emiru did provide some texts that kind of show Ms. Kiff's unstable. Which again, dude, it's okay. Like it happens. I think Ms. Kiff believes he's in love. I think he believes all of it, but I also think, again, guys, I'm not a psychiatrist either, but we're speculating, you know, let's just have like a discussion. I also think he might not see what he's doing as toxic, or he might, and he can't control himself. I guess. I think. But it's like, what do you do at that point? Is this person's just like a volatile thing you can't be around when they get to that point, I feel.
We would yell at each other.
If you
fight,
can't control
argue
it.
all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge strain, but I thought it could be fixed over time since things were just so amazing that first year. But
What do you guys think? I don't know. Tell me what you think.
I'm so gay. But as we stayed around longer, I started presenting her a lot more. You can take it out of remote only mode.
I'm sorry, that caught me off guard.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible, and my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you." Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care.
Ooh.
She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
Okay.
This is a video from my own brother. I didn't record this. These are mites all around her cage. I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected.
Oh man. Let me see that again. Oops. How'd it go? Is that poop? Is that poop? Is that the bunny poop from Emiru? Oh man. Let's keep watching.
This is a video from my own brother. I didn't record this. These are mites all around her cage. I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many died just over a year or two of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt bad, and my brother once came over and said that if I marry her, he'll never forgive me. In fact, when Maya came over during my cancellation, she actually commented on Emiru's rabbits and said, "These rabbits are completely neglected, and this is disgusting." Emiru wouldn't clean the cages, and the smell became so bad that we started to have the rabbits just be outside. I told her if that's the case, she's got to make sure she's giving them water because they are her responsibility. Instead, these rabbits were left outside in 100-degree heat with no food or water or anything. Most of the time being in cages with no bedding besides poop all over the place. Emmy didn't care. She would sit inside and play League of Legends all day. And what this showed me is that I don't want her to be my children's mother.
Definitely
and I
avoiding
couldn't see
stuff.
myself marrying.
Definitely avoiding
The fights from
stuff
these
there.
times started to get worse. I would constantly want to be farther and farther from her. I would use her for content, but after stream would want to be alone. I didn't know how to break up with her or end things. She was a co-owner of my org, the only person I knew.
Am I the only one thinking about the text messages that Emiru showed? And then listening to Mizkif say he tried to break up with her. It kind of doesn't click, no? Look, I'm listening to this guy. I'm open ears. And we all should be. There's two sides to a story. It's true. But that doesn't click so far, but let's keep listening and see where this goes.
And the strain of the relationship and hiding the relationship was really taking a toll on me. On top of that, the stalkers were getting worse. One stalker came to my house and I had to point a gun at him for 30 minutes until the cops came. These stalkers are no joke, and the pressure from the relationship, the anger I felt, and the stalkers as a whole really made us lash out at each other. She would tell me that she doesn't realize what she's doing, that she didn't understand what she was doing wrong. But I would constantly tell her on and off stream that she needs to do more because these stalkers are getting worse. I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
Hey, he admitted what she said. Wow.
Last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic.
Let's keep
I
listening.
told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because I wanted space, but she still wanted me around at all times. She would get upset if we didn't sleep together or if we weren't around. She always wanted me to drive over to her house, but I never wanted to because I wanted to be alone. And that increased our fights. But the stalkers continued, and I got even more stressed. They started to take pictures of me whenever I would drive to her house. They knew my every movement. I couldn't take it. Between the rabbits, the stalkers, and the overall ability to handle situations with each other.
Oh my god. Is that bad? Oh, these stalkers, dude. I think he might be saying the truth.
I knew this wouldn't
I think it's true.
last, but I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. She did not want to move out. As for me telling Cheddar to leave my house, he was swatting at Chompy constantly and making him bleed. I not only was the one that wanted her to move out first.
The Twitch chat is not having it. I'll read it.
First, I was the one that wanted the cat out of the house because he was attacking my cat. Every month went by the last year and our fights started to get louder. We were breaking up with each other almost weekly. Fights were getting more aggressive and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect and I reflect on those situations poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening. This is the situation. I told her that a stalker's at the house. I'm freaking out. What is happening? Can you call me? I'll call you. I literally want to kill myself. I can't take this anymore. I feel so alone and like a problem. Just want to show this. She was also using the I want to kill myself a lot in our situation and relationship. This is while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers. This stalker who was at my house, his background picture was Emiru. And when he talked to the cops, he was in love with her and thought that she was talking to him. It is disgusting what these stalkers can do. I will say this. The fact that this guy came to my house and the result of it was a cop brought him down the street to a QT, which is a 7-Eleven, 15 minutes away, and that's all they did, is terrifying for these girls and terrifying for the situation in general. I knew that the relationship wasn't healthy at this point. I knew we had to end it, and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very provocative picture, one that she knew I would hate, and she posted it to make me upset. She admitted that she made me upset with it, and we got into a heated argument, and I broke up with her. We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food, and then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying.
See that Twitch comment. So far, they're not on Miskip's side.
And left the house.
This person said on stream when he's talking about the sex.
I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then. But we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months where we were fighting, we were still fighting, but it did feel like the relationship had good progress. And we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want, and Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted on paper. I'm gonna let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true.
So who's telling the truth?
Exactly what happened.
Or
you cannot argue.
Okay, I'll let him finish.
One day after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her. She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. And I just looked at this letter that I was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper. She began to cry, and I told her, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I was not mentally well. I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go, I love you." That week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait to possibly get back together again. I have never talked to her in person since. I have messaged her numerous times wondering why I have been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream.
Yeah.
But after 10 months, I know we're much better off without each other. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house. The house was very small, and I opened the door, I said whoops, and proceeded to talk in the other room about what I possibly did wrong, and began to bawl out and be depressed because I just saw my ex-girlfriend. I want to make it very clear. I was not following her, nor lingering around her. I was with others the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people there. I, of course, was near her, but I was never following her. This year has been very hard for me, and I'm sure for her. I even went to Japan and drank every single night just to sleep. Going from being with each other for 3 years straight and trauma bonding to be completely alone is such a difficult thing for both of us. I began therapy in February of this year with
Hold up, did someone comment? Oh, there we go. Who do you believe more? First, let's finish. Let's let Mizkit finish. We've got 12 more minutes. I got some things I want to say.
EMDR therapy, something she recommended me when we were dating. I'm very happy to say that I feel better than ever, and I've gotten a lot of the stress.
Who do you believe more so far? But I have to finish this. I have to finish.
Austin myself, and I've had a lot of trauma lingering from there as a whole, and I feel a lot better from that. I truly hope nothing but the best for Emmy. I know she said a lot of these things today, and I do believe a lot of them were false. But I do hope nothing but the best for her. And
you chat GPT. These Twitch comments are killing me, dude.
We're in this situation, and
someone's like, you chat GPT this.
Hope that she can move on. We were in a toxic relationship. I saw that. I've realized over the years of 2 relationships now online that I'm a horrible boyfriend, and I have a lot to work on for myself. I've been single for the past 10 months, and I plan to stay that way. I'm continuing to go to therapy and work on myself. Not just for me, but for the people around me. If you're wondering if it's scripted, the answer is, of course it is. I wrote it out because I cannot freeball this. This is a very serious situation. I want to make this real.
Okay, that's fair.
And that's it.
Honestly, that's fair.
Okay? I'm going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And I believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated. I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well, if she has them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people.
That's crazy.
I have a lot of messages that I have that I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is...
I see where you're coming from, Mizam.
Wild.
I see where you're coming from.
But I want to make it very clear. When it comes to Emiru, when she says that I was getting ready to go after her...
So far, I think Emiru's felt very genuine. And I'm not saying Miskiff's isn't. Actually, I do think Miskiff is telling mostly the truth as well. He admitted to some things he said. But I do think they're both telling the truth in their own eyes. Because they're kind of saying the same situation happened, but from almost different point of views. And sometimes truly, like, what can go on in your head, and if you have a bias against someone, so like, let's say Emiru has this bias against Miskiff. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt here, okay? I remember someone saying it's a lot if she said stuff, but she has more info. Yeah, she says she has more. Wait, I remember someone saying it's a lot of he said, she said. Yes. Yeah, I was saying that. I was saying that too. It's seeming like it's a he said, she said kind of thing. And it's almost like... It's really unfortunate. I do think so far Emiru's provided more proof though. Like the text messages Emiru showed, I think it does show that Miskiff's like a little volatile, but he admitted to that, and that's the thing, and his point of view is interesting. God, why can't this just not be so bad? This is unfortunate. I feel bad. I feel bad for Emiru, honestly. Especially after the Twitch stuff, the TwitchCon stuff. Miskiff, I don't know. Maybe I feel worse for Emiru because, I don't know. Is it because the TwitchCon stuff plus maybe girls getting more shit on the Twitch space? I agree. I do like my stream titles. Emiru needs a break. But so like this just came out 8 hours ago, right? And I think there's another response that just came out. I'm not sure. Oh man, dude. It's seeming like a he said, she said thing, blah blah blah. I don't want to dismiss Miskiff though. You know, that's not fair. That's never fair. But if what he's saying is true, I think what we're seeing here is just two people not ready for a relationship that had their relationship become really toxic, and they had just different point of views of what was happening. And I think they're both right. You know what I mean? I think they're both right.
And that I was going
to... In a way. It's kind of hard to explain.
Use her rabbits against her. That was never the plan. My plan for myself was very simple. If Emmy were to say something about me, I would say something back. That's it. I never had a plan in my life to go after her or do anything. It was if she ever said anything, I would say something as well. And that's completely understandable. Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at Twitter?
I will say it seems like most people are not on Miskiff's side. Why do you think that is? Why are people not on Miskiff's side? People are saying I saw in the Twitch chat, it was kind of funny. Miskiff does seem like, I'll admit, he does seem like he could put on this kind of act. And Emiru's did seem more authentic, but that doesn't mean it's true, you know? He does have a bad history. That's true. He's lost his rep, right? So that's why people don't trust Miskiff. So I think that's kind of fair. It's kind of fair. That's what happens when you lie in the past like that. You lose your rep. But that's the thing. Like, you know, what if he changed? Probably not.
Which con? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen. Because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. She did.
It seems like she did, really.
Austin, Texas. And
but I don't know if that's like... I feel like that's almost like... not completely related with what happened between Mizkif and Emiru. I feel like the rabbit thing is just like showing she was mentally unstable. Like, that's what I feel like that's showing. Am I the only one who thinks that?
Say that she didn't abuse those rabbits at my house, you're lying. You know she did. She abused those rabbits and she let them outside, and it's disgusting. And I didn't want to bring this up ever. This was not something I planned.
Oh yeah, the essay. Dude, I almost forgot about that. Wow.
My life. But it's something that she claims that she didn't do, and people are trying to defend her from that. Like Asmongold, she says that one of her rabbits she took and brought around. What about the other 6 rabbits that died? As for what happened with me and Emiru, it is I mentally have been fucked up for years, and I'm very proud of myself for working on myself, and I think leaving Austin was the best.
Dude, I know. I kind of forgot. Like, wow. These things you kind of just forget. Does the internet move that quick?
This thing, not just for me, but for everyone.
What happened to Slicker? No. I don't think that was that his name? I think, are you talking about, who? Slicker. No, I feel like that's wrong, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, I know, Miss Kiss' old friend. What was his name? Slicker? Are you sure? Here, we don't have to get into that. Let's focus on this drama today, but we will keep in account Miski's got a bad track history, and when you lie in the past, you lose credibility. People can change, but that's just how it is
around me. I do believe that. I fucked up a lot, and I'm never gonna not admit that. And I realized I need to be alone. I never got kicked out of Austin, Texas. I left myself. I'm absolutely mentally fucked. I have been slowly working on it. I do feel like I've been getting better. I feel like I'm very calm right now. I don't feel stressed. I don't even feel angry. I feel that every day I'm trying to learn more and more and do better, but I'm going to stand up for myself in a lot of these situations because a lot of it was not true. And I don't like that she was portraying that it was just me who was at fault. It was a toxic relationship.
Slick. Yeah, you're talking about Slick. Okay, it's not Slicker, it's Slick. No, it was Slick. That's why Slicker was throwing me off. Honestly, I don't know what happened to Slick. We can look that up after. Let's see.
Why was viewership so important? I will bluntly say this, and I'm very honest. I was, and I still am, but I very much was someone that was massively obsessed with streaming and viewership. And when my cancellation happened, and even before it, I mean, it's something you guys know. I've been massively obsessed.
These Twitch comments are crazy.
With streaming and viewership over the years, and it's disgusting, and it has ruined my fucking life. It is something that I am envious of others. I am angry at others because of it. It makes me jealous when I see others doing well, and it has made me realize that I am I'm never happy for someone else if they're doing much better than me. You guys know this is true if you watch my old stream. I've
admitting that is, see, he's admitting some real shit right now. Like, wow, that's respectful to admit that. Okay, Ms. Kiff. I think he knows it's unhealthy too, but this kind of thing can just be a habit, you know?
Always been this way,
and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and think he wants to change, because that kind of thinking is awful.
I've been very envious of other people, and it's a problem. It's a serious. It was.
He admitted to a lot of it. Yeah,
way better than I was now, or I am now. But it's a serious problem that I am.
That's what's interesting.
To this day, I am not perfect, and I fucked up with that. I've been this way for a very fucking long time.
That's why I think they're both telling the truth. They are. I think maybe Emiru could have, without her unintentionally, have done. I don't know. Maybe some of the toxic things Ms. Kiff is saying. I think Miskiff might have. Miskiff. It looks worse though.
Where I'm a competitive.
But he knows it. That's the thing, you know? I think a lot of people that are like this, they know it. And they try to change. They do. And sometimes people can't change. It's sad, but it's the truth of human nature. It's the truth of what happens. Sometimes people do change though. Sometimes they do.
Dude, and I think I'm very competitive with streaming because I really care about it a lot. I've sunk my whole life into this thing. Did you really drive 150 miles an hour?
Yeah, Miskiff's not a bad guy, but he has bad qualities, ways of thinking.
You know me in Austin, Texas.
Very bad.
I drive fast everywhere. I drive fast literally everywhere. I'm in an Audi R8 in Austin, Texas where the freeways are open. I drive fast all the time. I remember one time when she was picking me up from the airport and she was in her blue Corvette and she started the speed when we were on a straightaway when she was getting mad and she stayed quiet. I don't remember the exact speed she got up to, but we were definitely flying. But I'll say this. I have no problem admitting fault. The person that I was during that relationship, and I would say the Miskiff in Austin, Texas, is fucking disgusting. I hated myself. I hated this person that just sat there all day, stressed and angry and mad at the fucking world. I hated being this upset person because I know you are who you hang out with. And I definitely changed Emmy in a lot of ways and made her very stressed as well, and mentally the situations we were in, it just cataclysmed both of us. I was a very toxic person and I knew I needed to get out, so I broke up with her. In fact, I broke up with her twice. The first time I broke up with her, I really thought it was over, and the second time I broke up with her was forever. I did message her a lot afterwards, primarily for OTK stuff, but there were times where I did want to go back to her. I'm not going to pretend I didn't. I was drunk. I thought I needed to, but yeah. That's it.
That's it?
I don't think there's really anything else.
6 minutes more though. There's 6 minutes left.
Something I think that we went over, and I am glad that it is out there what I just said. And that's it. So that's it. I said what I had to say. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will be back. I'm not leaving anytime soon. All right. That's
Chat, is there an update? Is there a new update?
I appreciate it.
It's been 10 hours.
I feel like if he established that as a boundary not to post very early on, first year, and they were together and been around for like years together, here's my take. I'm going to assume that she knew and accepted that boundary. So now you can make whatever you say about him, and you'll be right. You say, oh, he's a controlling fucking controlling psycho, whatever. Then people are gonna say they're insulted, insecure. I agree.
I agree. Insecure, narcissist, yes. Aware of it, yes. Maybe wanting to change, yes. And did Emiru know all this? Honestly, I think so too. I think she wanted to help him. That's what Miskiff said. It was just one of those relationships where both of them a little crazy. I can't believe I agree with XQC right now. What'd I do?
Bitch, 100%, definitely, right? Yeah.
And
I think everyone will agree to that. That's 100%, right? Unfortunately, it's I feel like since it was established early on, it's something that she was okay at the time at least. So that's where I'm at on that. And I would be more than willing to understand.
Okay, at the time I agree.
Well, you have to walk me through how what I just said is wrong. It's still wrong though.
Yeah, exactly. But she was okay with it. Wait, why is XQC kind of cooking? Okay, XQC. Wait.
Definitely. As in, he makes it seem like it's the only boundary, whatever. And it seems like when I was into her, it was more like, oh yeah, he was doing this, he was doing that. I think it's probably a little bit of a wiggle room in the middle. But I don't fucking know. I'm making my take with the information I'm given.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
What can
I feel like I said the same thing in different words.
Yeah, so I do absolutely think though.
I like how you said like wiggle room in the middle. I think it is kind of he said she said. I could see that Emiru kind of could. She accepted it at first. I don't know if he didn't establish the posting, like, you know, the posting on her shorts where she's cosplaying and she looks like good, so the stalkers would come. They didn't establish that early on. But even if he did, which Like he would if he knew, probably, right? It's still, it is I guess he wanted to help, but from other details, like Miskif is pretty controlling, you know? He does get jealous. He does get crazy jealous and feels not happy when people are doing good. Why is he this way? Fucked up childhood, maybe. Fucked up childhood. I don't know. But he said he's this way. And sometimes at least he knows. And that's the first step to change. You know?
So
And if I'm being honest, posting this all online is not gonna this is gonna make it worse. Maybe. For now.
with that in mind, that the throwing stuff around, I got.
Also, why the fuck did he post?
Likely malicious.
Why did he put XQC's take at the end? That's kind of funny to me. Also, I don't think the internet is on his side more. I think they're more on Emiru's side, which, again, he lost his track record. He lied about a lot of stuff before.
Completely debunk it, which would impress me, but I'm not trying to be rude, right? Like, I'm not trying to be, like, assumptuous or weird about it.
Yeah. I actually agree with this guy.
About the essay thing, you guys are gonna. I feel like it's not. Even though my take is rooted in complete reality.
Dude, hold on.
People are not gonna want to listen because it's a moment where
From majestic Quebecois Overwatch.
Obviously went through some trauma. Obviously is Emmy was spilling her heart out, right, and giving her story, and I respect that. I got respect that. And with what she said as an event, I can see how this plays out for him and for her in their own perspective, right? And
yeah.
where nobody is completely far out in like the absolute wrong, because it's a big read the room moment, and if both don't read the room and Miz doesn't read the room at all, right? Him standing up kind of absolves them of misreading the room. Sorry, that's my take. My take is that, okay,
Dude, I kind of agree. Like, is the same thing with the situation where he tried to go down on her. I guess when I heard it from Emiru, she kind of made it sound like it was him taking advantage, and it was bad. And from her point of view, honestly, that could have been true, you know? But it seems like a read the room kind of thing, where it apparently Miskif added a little more context. And that, you know, they were holding hands before and stuff. And then also, where's like the details, like in between, like were they're cuddling after, apparently, according to Miskif and stuff. And she is the one who said, like, please cuddle with me. I think Miskif said that, right? If she said that, see, that's kind of crazy though, is it not? But she wants a guy to cuddle with her, and I guess in Miskif's point of view, that's a straight like sign that it could be also be more than cuddling. Like, some guys do think that, but in Emiru's point of view, that could be crazy.
let's say you're deluded, okay? You're horny, let's be honest. Most guys are. Then some traumatic thing happens.
Yeah.
Right? Some crying and ensues. Clearly, it's a heavy moment, right? It's a heavy moment,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, you're talking about the situation now.
A hard time, right? And she's being emotional or whatever, right? She probably expects to be given time, understood, comforted with words of affirmation, some form of comfort or whatever, right? And then she doesn't get that, right?
From majestic.
That is since I was watching your stream, that's probably was what I was looking at, right? She's probably having a hard time, right? And she wants something positive. Yes. Interesting. Okay, good. Next is perspective. He probably
His perspective.
She's crying. She needs comfort, whatever, right? She gets close, does the kissing, whatever the fuck, right? Yes. The reading the room is shit. Clearly, the man is not reading the room.
Yes.
He's looking for comfort.
Exactly.
He's looking for physicality, right? That is. He's not reading the room
That's just horny autistic shit.
for shit, and he's wrong for that, right?
Sorry, but it's true. Which is okay.
Yes, it is gross. I
or
understand.
not okay. I mean, it's gross. What I mean is like, okay is not the right word. It's normal is what I meant. Normal. For someone who can't read the room, which is usually people who are probably on the spectrum, which honestly, let's be honest, it's a lot of us nowadays. It's normal. That's what I meant. Not okay. It's normal. But does that make it okay? Of course it doesn't make it fucking okay. It just means it's like how, like, what do? We have to educate people better. We have to, I don't know, help read the room better. Like, where does this go? But even if you try to do that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. What do you do against that?
His perspective, if there's no either a dialogue or warning or non-verbal of, yo, this is, don't like hug me or kiss me, right? You're still not correcting your vision of reading the room. You're still in the wrong. You would still be deluded, right? This is how I'm reading. This is how the story plays out in my view. So within that sense, right? If she said and she screamed or whatever, right, to stop doing something, and he jumped out of the bed and he stopped, within your delusion, right, of not reading the room, when there was pushback or warning or a hint, big one, that it was unwanted, then he stopped, right?
Okay.
So I understand it wasn't needed, it wasn't wanted, but then I can see how, okay, when the delusion stopped and it was warned, he stopped. And that's how I see it. And you don't have to agree with me, and I'm not glazing anybody. I'm trying to be impartial and be in the middle.
I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly,
I actually agree with them.
understand everything, okay? I've heard similar stories in the past. I haven't. And it's just like if somebody doesn't, it's wrong. Does that make sense? If somebody doesn't, if you give somebody a warning, a sign, they don't stop, yeah, wrong. That giving that vibe, right? But maybe it's because it was either underexplained or, but I was being receptive to it. Does that make sense? If you've been with somebody for a long time and things get close, right? I'm going to be honest with
We
you,
can watch the tuck tone after.
right? If there's no signs of I don't want this, people usually assume like, yeah, like it's gonna end up like touchy kissy. Does that make sense? But I understand the crying is one thing, but the reality is that you gotta read the room and know when.
But he can't read the room, bro.
The room was not read. That's wrong. Is it as bad as people make it seem to be? I'm not.
Why couldn't he read the room? It's a tism, is it not?
I'm inclined to intake more information.
So what do you
I'm
do?
not there. Like,
True
I'm
though.
not-
We're also speculating.
And it's still wrong. It's still fucking wrong. It's still 100%. If somebody's going through a traumatic event, you're not trying to fuck, or you shouldn't.